Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fallible Fandom, episode 8. Excuse me. I thought I'd finish my cigarette before I started. I hope everybody's doing well and having a phenomenal week. Today we're joined by Liam with Green Reaper. How you doing?
Not too bad, dude. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Today could have been better. I'm not gonna lie. It's all about honesty on this podcast, and Jesus Christ, today has been a bag of shite. But it's going to be a lot better with this podcast. So let's get to it. Oh, dude, nobody is. But now that you mention it, I could put you on a hiatus for a little bit. You know.
You're not banned,
hello,
dude.
my one and
you
only.
had family commitments this week.
Yeah.
Come join
He's
us.
just joshing everybody. With his little shenanigans. But I've sent the invite out to a bunch of people today, so hopefully they will be joining us. But Flash Freak has been told to watch X-Men 97 because the finale is next week, and we're going to have a real good time talking about it because it has been a triumph of a return for them. Honestly, they've just done beyond expectation. They've just surpassed it every week and just keep going higher and higher, and good for them. But we'll get into all that in a little bit. We're going to be discussing some news, how we feel about everything that's popping up in the space, and then we'll get into the show. And thank you, Mr. Daniel Tinley. I'm going to start getting used to calling you that because I always just call you Flash Freak, and you're obviously rebranding, so I need to kind of stick with that. So I will try and do better. Okay, so I got some nice fun bits for the end, which I'm going to save. I'm going to save that one and save that one till the end. You haven't seen Shogun, have you?
Nope.
No. I'm not sure if anybody else on the stream has seen it either.
That saves a hell of a lot of time then.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly discuss this news. Where is it? There's so many. Here we go. Right. So the news is that Shogun star Hiroyuki Sanada inks a deal to return for season 2 as FX series mulls Emmy switch to drama amid new renewal buzz. Okay. As FX limited series. Okay, that's interesting. So basically, the interesting thing is that it was a limited series. It was supposed to be one and done. So it was on Hulu and Disney Plus, right? But then it's going to be a season 2 as an FX limited series. That is really, really interesting. So it's going to be switching camps, maybe. I don't know how I feel about that, right? Because obviously Hiroyuki Sanada, being one of the producers and the lead actor, or one of the lead actors, has a vital part in how everything looks and the attention to detail and everything, as well as being on a wide team. You know, not going to put it all on one man's shoulders. But then switching it to Fox, I don't know. Good luck to him. But initially, I was happy with watching Shogun, knowing that that was gonna be the end of it, right? One and done. And it felt great. It finished amazingly. It's like easily one of the best things that I've seen this year in recent years. It's been fully compared to Game of Thrones, just in feudal Japan, you know. I don't want to say too much because Liam hasn't seen it, and there are other people that haven't seen it, and I want them to watch it. I want everybody to go and watch it. It's a phenomenal series, and I'm giving like no spoilers away, right? Because everybody needs to go and experience it and have nothing ruined in any way. So that being said, how the series ended, there was a choice made in direction and in every sense. Really, there was a choice made artistically that divided people. Okay, and I'm in the camp of it's fine. I didn't need it. It didn't take away from the series in any way. Okay, it's still one of the best series, hands down, that I've seen. You know, and it ended in a phenomenal way that just left so much open and so much possibility. But it's history. Like, it invites you to go and read their history, go and explore their culture, you know, go and learn for yourself, you know. And then I feel like that takes away a bit of it by bringing a season 2. And where would you do it? Would you do it straight after? Because that, in my opinion, kind of like having the like the aftermath of everything kind of takes away some of the magic of what's been done, you know. Like looking at the magician behind the curtain, you know. And they could do a time jump. That would be interesting to see, I guess. But again, one season, like, there was a lot of magic in what they did. A lot of magic. And I think to do a season 2, given how amazing season 1 was, is just walking a tightrope. And just very, very dangerous to do, because you created a masterpiece, in my opinion. A masterpiece. There's 2 things I have to say about that series. One, the English actor, the guy that plays John Blackthorne, I think his name is so good at being unlikable that I just didn't like him. I did not like him. And there's another bit where like a practical effect happened, and then later on that got kind of retconned a little bit in the show. That's the only 2 things. Other than that, the attention to detail, the love that was put into crafting this show, the story that was told, and the way it was done just had me and my friends guessing every single week as to where this is going to go, you know. And yeah, so I do not think that Shogun should get a season 2, in my opinion. No. But that's just because of how much I loved season 1. Like, that's a compliment, in my opinion, to say that you don't need it. You've told your story, you've wrapped up that bow. Boom. You know, you can walk away and create other masterpieces. You know, look at that book series that you've read, right? The Conqueror series.
Yeah.
Like, there are loads of warlords and interesting characters and just rich culture to talk about with Japan. You know, that I and most of the world are going to be ignorant to. So you've told that story, you could then move on to something else, maybe, you know. But, you know, that's just my humble opinion.
I'm gonna have to go watch it, aren't I?
Really, really, really are. You really are. I'm saying nothing, but just
give me a year.
So in the interest of growing as a person, I think it's always important to learn new things and expand your knowledge and everything, you know. And in that vein, I learned a new word today while I was looking up some news. And it's something that, again, could have just, I could have just let go, but I didn't know what it was. So I went and looked it up. And it changed how I thought. I was like, oh my God, I used to do that. And I was really unaware that it's like a thing. So anyway, let's get into it quickly. Yeah. So international streaming hits Shogun and House of Ninjas both feature Japanese actors who are also involved behind the camera. Sanada Hiroyuki and Kaku Kento have shown determination to present Japan free from stereotypes and exoticism, which is a new word that I learned today. Hang on. So, exoticism is the quality. I can't even say it. Is the quality of being attractive or striking through being colorful or unusual. Which, again, I was unknowingly guilty of. A bit younger, you know, and that is a thing that needs to go away, because there is a difference between appreciating somebody's uniqueness and celebrating somebody or celebrating somebody's culture or ethnic background, and there's just liking it because it's different than what you are. You know what I mean? Like, there's a real difference. And a way to combat that is through diversive media, inclusivity in all arts and activities and education. And I think it's very, very important. And that, again, it's something small, but seems small, but is oddly nefarious, you know? And the line is very distinctive. So there we go. Another reason to fight for equality, diversity, and inclusion and representation. Okay, what else? Did we talk about the Superman suit last week?
I'm not 100% sure. Sorry. Okay. Talking away, and I was like, "Oh, mic's not on." No, we didn't talk about the suit last week.
Okay, let's have a quick goosey gander. David Corrin Sweat's fancy new get-up. Look at this handsome devil. Oh, hang on. We're going to have to scroll away from those comments before we get copyrighted. Jesus Christ. It's happened to me before. It was like a sneak ad in the back. You know, I was on Twitter and then it was just there, just hiding away in the background. Like, the Hedgehog Nerd. Hello. Welcome. Good to have you here. And my one and only, being very welcoming to everybody. I love you very much. Thank you. So, David Corrin Sweat as Superman. Okay. I was unsure on the casting, but everybody's gonna be, because everybody has their own Superman, everybody has their own ideals. I mean, even animated, there's a whole bunch of different Supermen, and everybody has their their ideal version of.
So anyway, looking past the suit
Mm-hmm.
with the thingy in the background,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say that was? Brainiac or?
I'm not sure. Somebody made the good point that the beam could be going up the other way.
It could be.
You know, so it could be a case of like Dragon Ball Z, you know, beams meeting in the sky, and then there's this big ball of energy that gets bigger and bigger and explodes over Metropolis and in glass everywhere. Excuse me. But I don't know. That could be anybody. Honestly, that could be absolutely anybody.
Yeah.
But back to the suit. What do you think?
It's cool. I like it.
What about it? Do you like?
Ooh. I don't know. I just like it. It's different.
Dude, that is such a point. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to have YouTube just keep pushing, doing the like wanting to push it up, right? But that is a real goddamn good point, right? Because he is genuinely in this world like that. You know what I mean? And like that whole speech that he gives Darkseid, you know, about the whole world being like cardboard, and then it's just like, but you can take a big guy, can't you? You know, so like he is all alone, and not only just like the whole alien thing, but well, this is the thing. So
like top half like been battle worn, but the bottom half hasn't.
Yes, and I do want to get back into that. It's a really good point. But the Hedgehog nerd, okay, think about this. He's only going to be feeling that way for a brief time that we know him, because Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, she's going to be having her own movie, and she's going to be potentially, I think she's going to be in this movie, whether it's going to be at the end, to kind of, or thinking about it, if there's context for Kal-El on Krypton, then it would make sense for Kara to be there, right? Because the world that James Gunn's building, which I absolutely love him for this, is kind of like just, oh, I don't need a movie to introduce this guy. Everybody's just already here, and then some of them are going to be getting their own movie, you know? And like, obviously, like, not the whole roster is going to be in one movie, but like the universe is already full. That's the point. He's like just stepping into like because if Marvel had the idea of where they wanted to end up, where they started, they would have done the same thing, because they're already doing it where they are now, you know. So he has the benefit of Marvel's hindsight. So there's going to be a Green Lantern on this Earth. It's going to be Guy Gardner with the bold haircut and Nathan Fillion's glorious nose. And
how many Green Lanterns are they going for?
There's going to be 3 at least. But there's going to be 3 Earth ones, right? But then they're also going to have their core, right? When they have their own Green Lantern show / movie, if they do movie, but they're going to have the show first. And that's going to be at least have some interaction with the core. It has to imagine so, you know. Yeah, go on.
See, I'm going to keep quiet about the whole DC stuff until I actually watch some of it, just for the simple fact they've failed miserably so hard before. I want to go.
Oh, do you see the difference is
not being too optimistic.
The difference is they have James Gunn now.
I know, right? I hear that,
and it's not just he's doing a movie. Like, this guy's playing chess all by himself, basically. You know, like he's just playing all the pieces where he wants and telling one big story, but allowing other people to go off and tell their stories, like other directors and stuff. But he's basically being Kevin Feige, but mixed with another guy who's handling the business side. So, like, it's fine. I'm so excited, honestly. There's always been a criticism, to Liam's point, about DC, and it's something that they promised in that animated movie, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about, where it says like DC and then it shows you like the league, and then it just goes back and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see like all the different flashes and the villains and like 100 or more different characters, you know, and it's like these are the guys you're going to be getting, you know, potentially some more. And we were just rubbed, you know, and just waiting for that. And this is so far going to be like the closest thing we're going to get to it. So everybody be excited. The Hedgehog Nerd thinks maybe that the Phantom Zone portal. Okay. Interesting. I wonder how they're going to do the Phantom Zone, because everybody, it's kind of like deciding how Superman first flies. Each person that is dealing with it will have their own idea of it, you know. So we'll see. Neither can I think it's Millie Alcott that is the young actress that is going to be playing Supergirl, if I'm not mistaken, but I have been before. That's just off the top of my head. Let's have a quick before I speak out of turn. Yes. Okay. Pardon me. If Hawk Girl is coming, they have to do her romance with Jon Stewart. They did have a really good romance. They always do, to be fair. So do you think then they shouldn't go with Carter Hall then, or Connor Hawk, or whatever, you know, the Hawkman? Because they could make it like a triangle thing and have people interested that way. But definitely, I always want more Jon Stewart. And then when he popped up in at the end of the Snyder cut, I was just come on, man. Yeah. But I'm glad that James Gunn saw that and was inspired, because how many we are going to be getting Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan in the Lanterns TV show that is coming out in 2020 something. So yeah, it's gonna be really good. Do we think that the Reach is going to be introduced in the Green Lantern show, since Zolo's Blue Beetle is confirmed to be there? He's confirmed to be in the show, is he, or just in the universe? You mean? You think they're gonna? You hope that they're gonna do a story similar to Young Justice in Invasion? See, the thing is, it's like James Gunn hasn't really specific one. Let us not forget that James Gunn did say this isn't all of his roster that he let out, right? There are other projects in the works. That being said, I don't know if there's they showed the bits he was. Yeah, they showed him. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, because they showed him filming in the garage, didn't they, or whatever, the behind the scenes stuff. But I'm curious, because we haven't seen anything to say that there's going to be like an Avengers style thing for the end, like, because we don't know if he's doing this in like phases like Marvel's doing. We don't know what his goal is with, like he said, because it's the Gods and Monsters storyline, so we don't know how wide reaching that's going to be, is what I'm trying to say. We don't know if it's going to need everybody, somebody, you know, just a couple of people. You have to assume Wonder Woman and Superman and Supergirl and possibly the Green Lanterns are tied into that being like the most. Shazam, maybe, if he's in this universe, you know. And then the monster side of it, that's the introduction to that side of it's going to be through the Creature Commandos and Waller, Peacemaker potentially. So yeah, really, really exciting. The Reach, I don't know. Maybe in conversation, have it as like an Easter egg kind of thing. Like when maybe if there's like an introduction of a new lantern or something, or a lantern class or something, and then it's like a brief pushing the words, the story, there's just story being told. I think it begins with an E. Is completely just evaporating from my brain. But yeah,
it happens, mate, with old age.
Yes, it does. So yeah, maybe there's just story being told in the background for the sake of it, and history being told, because they also have to include the other lanterns, right? And then depending on how far they want to go with the lore, how each of the rings interact with the green ring, maybe the ultraviolet spectrum, some of the big bads, and why the lanterns are legendary. Some of the lanterns are legendary, why the lanterns are there in the first place, the histories with the Guardians, the little blue dudes, the Guardians of Boa.
Like I said, not really a huge DC fan like you, so
yeah, sorry. So I think they could discuss the Reach, but I don't think it's going to be like the bad guy. John was meant to be in the Spinal Cut and was there, yeah. So, and his fan cast is Jensen Ackles. Very interesting choice. I do have to say though, right? One, love Supernatural, okay, and there's a big fan of Jensen Ackles in the other room. I also love the guy, but he's a great actor, and he did really, really well in his Halloween dress up for Batman and everything else that he's done. Like I think he did the Red Hood as well. But that being said, you could distinctively see, oh look, Jensen Ackles in a Batman suit, and I'm enjoying the Crisis movies. I haven't seen much of the Tomorrowverse, if I'm honest with you. I prefer the stuff before the change. But you can definitely hear him in it, I would argue less than you could when I think he was Red Hood. Maybe a hot take, but Justly Dark Apocalypse War animated movie was amazing and very dark movie. That's not a hot take. I'm right there with you. It was a great movie. And the fact that they've made the Tomorrowverse the concept. Spoiler alert. I don't know if anybody's watching the animated Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths movies, but the Tomorrowverse, right? So what happens at the end of that movie with the Flash is like the whole reason that the Tomorrowverse exists in the first place, and is why Crisis is now happening. It's a whole thing. It's amazing. I'm sure the Hedgehog nerds fully keeping up, and I'm hoping everybody else is as well, because it's very, very good. There's sorry, spoilers. There's great Terry McGinnis cameos with Batman of the Future popping in and fighting Jensen Ackles Batman. It's great. It's like Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, depending on where you're from, and just spotting all the different incarnations of each superhero. Some of them that you're familiar with, others that you're not going to be. But it's a really, really fun time, and everybody should go and give it a watch. But back to the suit. It is really interesting that it is Battle 1, right? Because depending on where he got the suit and which number suit this is, right? If this is his first suit, usually he gets his first suit from his mum, doesn't he? A nice little suit from his ma. Yeah. And other times he gets a suit from a Kryptonian ship. Other times his mum makes him a suit from the stuff she found on the ship. There's different ways that he gets a suit. But if it's made from anything Kryptonian, then it's very interesting that he has.
I just love the fact that they
battle
knew how
damage.
big he was going to be to make the suit in the first place.
What do you mean?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
Like if
You're
it's
surprised they measured it?
from if it's Kryptonian, like and
Oh,
he finds it on the
okay.
ship, it conveniently fits.
Yeah, well, tell that to Man of Steel.
Or his mum made it when he was a kid out of the material that she found on the ship or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
I can't wait for Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3 because Batman, the animated series Batman and Joker are going to be there. Are you absolutely shitting me? Really? Ooh. 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 That can't be right. Is that really going to be Kevin Conroy's last thing? I thought his last Batman thing was going to be the Suicide Squad Justice League movie game. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Fiddle-dee-dee. Upcoming. Oh, dude, you're right. Oh my god, that is amazing. Oh, wow. Wow. Ooh. How are they going to end this thing, right? Because everybody knows that if we're like not trying to be, without throwing any shade at anybody, right? The Tomorrowverse is a dud, right? Like they've had some fine projects or whatever, but the animation style is awful. Awful. What you had before with Flashpoint Paradox, Batman v Robin, or Robin v Batman, whichever way you want to go around it, Apocalypse War, Dark, all of them were just phenomenally better and animated and designed better. And I'm sorry, that's my opinion. There might be some people that like the Tomorrowverse, but I can't say I've met a single person that prefers the Tomorrowverse. So I'm just going to say that. So hopefully they'll be able to switch it back around and go the other way. How do you feel about the trunks, Liam? How do you feel about a soup? So Henry Cavill's Superman, no trunks. From what I remember.
Again, not really interested. Sorry.
You don't have a preference for Superman suits?
No.
Because there's a real argument
I'm not
for
a
trunks.
huge DC fan, David. You know this, dude.
Okay.
Every time we talk, we never talk about DC shit.
I like DC.
Well, you try to, but I never really engage in the conversation.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed.
Okay, then. Well,
that's why I sat quiet.
Specifically, in that interest, then, let us discuss this. Now, I don't know how credible My Time to Shine is. From recent, like, if I just like hit the back of my brain and think, oh, I feel like I've heard that name recently, and it wasn't in a good way, or that like, oh yeah, they're super credible, you know, that like, wow, they get stuff bang on. So just gonna say that, right? But the reason I bring this up is because Janelle Monáe is an incredible artist, and like, when I say that, I mean that in an umbrella sense. A phenomenal singer, and actress, and any other avenues that she might be doing. I'm sure there are.
Can't say I've heard of her.
You've seen her. You've seen The Glass Onion, haven't you? The Knives Out second one.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, she's in that. She's in a few other projects. She's
Didn't
really, 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 really cool. Huh?
I can't say if I've seen Glass Onion and that, but I can't remember her in it. So obviously she didn't stick out in it.
She was like the main guy.
Still,
she had 2 roles as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she played the twins.
Yeah, no.
yeah. That's funny as fuck. So, oh my god, this would be insane. Okay, absolutely insane. And then, like, if you see it when you see her on the red carpet, you see that she's super elegant but powerful, right? And that's exactly the way the Storm is, as we see and we'll discuss when we talk about X-Men 97. Especially
it'd be a great honestly, great casting if she does land the role or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I really hope this is a thing.
Even though I don't remember her or anything, it's still a great casting choice.
Okay. You played Zelda as a kid, didn't you?
On and off. Not heavily.
But like, did you like smash out Ocarina of Time?
Not all of it, no.
No, I gotta say, I lost.
It was an outside when I was a child. I spent a lot of time in it.
So was I, and I still found countless hours to lose to this game.
It's playing outside and hiding in bushes are 2 totally different
things. Okay, so anyway, the Legend of Zelda movie. Now, everyone talks about how Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, Captain America, and everybody else are hard to cast. But I think Arkham games when you were a kid, oh my god, that makes me so old. Just an old man. That's what I am. Just an old man. So anyway, so there I was losing many hours to this game, and I think that this is going to be a very hard movie to pull off, or movie to pull off. The Legend of Zelda movie. Now, everybody has, again, like, this is such a big franchise now. Everybody has their own favorite flavor, every own favorite style of Zelda, and this is going to be a difficult one, if I'm honest with you. And good luck to him. I would say it's on par with casting a Goku that's going to work out live action. So, good luck.
I don't think they're going to make a mistake like that.
Well, they did.
Well, yeah, and hopefully they learned from it.
Okay.
That Dragon Ball movie was terrible. It just has no redeeming features whatsoever. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I wonder where in the storyline, or they're just going to make their own, or if they're going to go for one of them, Oh, Sonic maybe Hedgehog 3 is going to be the next big video game movie. I can't wait. The one I'm excited about, I am really excited about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I'm halfway through the Knuckles show, and the thing I'm more excited about is Julian Barrett, who was in The Mighty Boosh, and I don't think he's going to be returning until the end, so that's just sad. But the movie that's coming from the game that I want is the Mortal Kombat 2 movie. The issue with that is they had like a solid movie, right? 9 out of 10, perfect. And then they choose one thing, like one specific thing, to change the lore completely, and then just rug pulls the whole goddamn thing. And okay, this is completely off topic. What we're trying to talk about, right? Mortal Kombat is a franchise I am a diehard fan of, okay? And it is just known that there are just special people in the world. There are normal people. There are denizens of every realm, right? Just normal humans. There are just normal, like they're just reptile dudes, you know. Like there's Shokuns with 4 arms, and there's Tarkatans and all sorts of shit. Oshteks and everybody, right? So there's some people that are stronger and have powers, and there's some that just aren't. Okay, that's just the way things work. Them's the breaks. Those are our champions. Okay, and then to sit there and go, oh, I got to kill this guy, and then I get a dragon tattoo, and then now I have a power. Get the fuck out! What are you doing? There's enough stakes in the world that you're talking about. It's called Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's combat between like mortal people and a couple of gods and stuff, but it's like a fight to the death, you know, like it's deathly combat. Them's the stakes. And the fact that all of reality is going to be lost.
Yeah, with that movie, they should have aimed it at the older audience and not trying to get a new one.
Yeah.
You know? That's what should have been done with that.
Okay, my computer nearly dead. I love you so much. Okay, I just put it on charge, so hopefully I've caught it in time.
Fatality.
Okay, and then Cole. Okay, he's a character that I'm gonna have to start enjoying. I feel bad I didn't really like him as a character. But it's hard when you introduce any new character into any franchise. Because I'm not a fan of all Mortal Kombat characters. So let's get that said. You know, I'm not just picking favorites. I mean, I have favorites, but I'm not just gatekeeping. It's like, oh, a new guy's tried to join. No, that's not okay. Like, I don't like Reiko, you know. There's a whole bunch of others. So, but it's not about that. Okay, what else? What else? Oh, this is what I was trying to show. Where is it? Here we go. It's a heavy spoilers post talking about a project that I'm very, very excited about, and that is Venom 3. The original projects, the first two, have gotten so much shtick and just joshing and just ridicule taking out of them. And there's been a couple of like nitpicks in each movie. There are nitpicks in most movies, you know, almost all of them. And yes, Venom, a alien that is vulnerable to sound, should not be going to an underground rave, right? But it's fun. Yeah, and mic dropping, fucking mic dropping, you know. But it's fun. I am dying to see number 3. I love Tom Hardy's Venom. The only thing, the one thing that I would change is having the spider emblem on him. That's all I would have. Other than that, the chemistry that they have, the way that they do the voice, how Venom looks, like when he's a symbiote and all tendrily, like they do everything. They have nailed it. Okay, thank you, Hedgehog Nerd. Like, oh my god!
Imagine if they gave him the spider on his chest in this one just because of the hive knowledge. That'll kill me.
So I'm so glad Hedgehog Nerd is here. Because I was going to ask about who do we think the green is going to be for. So clearly, the Hedgehog Nerd thinks it's going to be on a play on the word toxin. As to why it's green, because Toxin isn't a green guy. I sat there earlier trying to find some enemies of Venom that might be green in some fashion, that it might make sense as to why they picked that logo. Because Toxin, being the son of Carnage and the grandson of Venom, is half red and half blue. He's got Carnage up top, I think, and Venom at the bottom, or vice versa. It's one of them. And he's a really, really cool mix. So
is that who they set up in Let There Be Carnage?
Yes. Okay. So this is the thing. So I sent like the Canadian lad a comic because he watches everything on 125 XP, and I was like, hey, have a look at and see what not Maguire, whatever the cop's name is that he gets stabbed in the back. I was like, have a look and see if it's a symbiote dagger that Carnage was shooting at Venom earlier. Is that what he gets stabbed with? Or is it what Shriek was there threatening people with? Right? Because that would determine like when Toxin was made, right? Obviously, it's when his eyes pop open and he's there like monsters. Stephen Graham with his wonderful American accent. So I don't know. I'm really interested in seeing when he gets made, but I also like know that he's not a full bad guy. I'm pretty sure this is the symbiote that has the deal with the host that says, right, just be a good guy for like I think it's a month or however long, and then every little while you get the night off to go and do symbiote business and no judgment on my behalf, and you have full reign. So
it's one way to deal with it.
Yeah, because he's an anti-hero as well.
Yeah,
business in the front, pie in the back. That is right. Oh my god, what was it yesterday? No, when did we get the concrete? Yesterday, wasn't it? That there was a guy with a glorious mullet. Glorious mullet. It was insane. Like it was so party in the back. Like it was just flowing. The party was flowing. Honestly, like it was spring break back there. It was nuts. Good for him. The Hedgehog nerd. I wish Spider-Man preferred Andrew Garfield in Venom 3, but it's not going to happen after Madam Web fiasco. Well, okay. One. The only fiasco about Madam Web was everybody shit bagging it afterwards, okay? Because it was a solid goddamn movie, okay? Everybody needs to step back. Even the actors that were fucking in it, I don't understand. Like, how can you be in something and then just sitting there trashing it afterwards? Honestly, right? I understand editing's a big thing and like some of the ADR didn't line up and everything else, but like there are some movies where like even with studio interference and chopping up, like it's still a solid movie, you know, and Madam Web was a solid movie and it did what it needed to do and set up enough. And you're right, there are like Spider-Man set up and a whole Spider-Verse set up. So I think if they don't shit over all of what they've done, you and I could be hoping for like the similar thing here. Mulligan, yes, thank you, yes. When Mulligan got the symbiotes, yeah. There was another cool shot as well when Cletus is escaping the cell. Before he leaves, him and Shriek are being held up by tendrils, right? And then it octopus crawls them all the way through. And I'm not sure at which point the transition into the suit happens, and it'd be really cool. It'd be like Doctor Strange changing on the fly, you know. So I'm very excited to see all of the glorious mullets of Florida. I'm sure there are many, many glorious mullets.
Did you see what they've done in Florida as well?
I have not. Is it alligator friendly
for anyone that sexually assaults a child under the age of 12?
Huh. Okay then. So, good for them.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Fair play.
So yeah, what we done now is actually a good thing. I actually hope Sydney Sweeney is going to get a role of Felicia Hardy. I can see what you mean. I didn't really get Felicia vibes at the time, but now you say it, I can see that. I can see what you're saying. I wouldn't say like that's a terrible idea. I wouldn't say no, like, brr. But I'm like, yeah, I can see that. That's cool. I would put other people. I don't know. I'd put other people in there first, but that's a good casting. God damn. Didn't know that. On to lighter news. Oh, wait, this is it? Okay, yes. So, you might not be able to see it, actually. Let me enlarge it quickly. I don't know if that's been the case the whole time. So, Boba Talk, our wonderful, wonderful creator on YouTube. Everybody go and check him out. So he put up on Twitter reacting to something on Instagram from the wonderful James Gunn, who is just going to be an absolute master craftsman, I'm calling it. Pleased to announce the great Frank Grillo will be reprising the role of Rick Flag Sr., the role he'll first play in animated form in Creature Commandos throughout season 2 of Peacemaker. Christopher Smith and Rick Sr. have a little unfinished business to take care of. Oh, wow. Okay, right. So, not only was Peacemaker season 1 amazing, we have like a good news, bad news situation here, really, because the bad news, we have to say goodbye to season 1 because in my head canon, basically, when the Flash went back and created the Flashpoint, okay, at the end of his movie, he's created like a whole new universe situation, and that's how we're getting what we're getting, right? So season 1 Peacemaker didn't happen. He didn't interact with Goth and all of the other butterflies and things like that. From my understanding, that didn't happen. If it did, like, they still have to deal with that because there were global butterflies, right? So, pardon me. From my understanding, that's not going to be a thing. Peacemaker is either going to start again, so he's either going to start in the hospital bed from the Suicide Squad movie or whatever. Like, it's a whole new reality, isn't it? So Christ knows where he's going to be. He's going to be, but no, yes. See, Suicide Squad still has to have happened, right? Because this is something that they're going to have to deal with. So some things will still have happened. Some things still won't have happened. Him killing Rick Flag obviously is going to be a thing. So one of the reasons is, sadly, the thing people like to see, especially a crowd, is they like to see people fail. That's just the sad, cold truth of it. They like to see people fail. To see somebody succeed,
to the haters.
Unless, I don't know. I get that would be like deep psychology, but I would say, like, unless like you have your brain actively say like I don't know, there's like the animal part of your brain that gets jealous. Do you know what I mean? So when somebody like succeeds and stuff, and then like it makes you start questioning your own stuff, maybe makes them insecure. I don't know. Like they haven't just trained themselves to be happy. You know, I don't know. Because it's, you know, if you're sat there and just like a positively negative person, I'm sure there are steps you could take to be otherwise. So I feel like it's a choice once you get to a certain age to constantly just be negative to people, you know?
Yeah, 100% it's a choice.
So there are just genuine haters that just do not like to see other people succeed because they are not happy people, you know? That shouldn't be the case. And it should, and luckily he's not letting it drag him down. He answers wild, shocking rumors that like will have people questioning where the universe is going, or like, especially when it comes from like quote unquote reputable sources or people that might be believed by a certain number of people. So he kind of is keeping expectations where they need to be. and he's not letting it get him down. He's just focusing on the work and just giving us something really good at the end of it, hopefully. And then this is another thing, as I was talking to my friend about it earlier, is the quality of the stuff that we're getting recently is going to just be causing all of the haters and all the people that be like, the woke agenda's bringing everything down, go woke, go broke. Like, that's just going to be causing them all just to say, well, we were wrong. Like, that's not the case, you know? Because X-Men 97, everybody tried bagging on that, and that is a masterpiece. That is hands down perfection. Honestly, I genuinely can't imagine anything that I would have put in, or anybody that I know would have put in, to make it better. They just keep blowing everybody away.
I tell you what, though, the type of people that hate on X-Men 97 are the type of people that lick their mum's dildos. That's the type of people that hate on that.
Yeah, there, folks.
Sorry, just had to put it out there.
No, you can crack on. Right, let's get back up. Okay.
Are we done with news yet, or
on that one?
We still got a little bit left to go?
I'm just checking now.
Oh, there's one more bit of news I need you to announce.
One
first.
One
Casting
more. Last
news.
one. Yes, the last one. It is genuinely the last one as well. Last bit of news. Here we go. Here we go. So, the wonderful Ralph Ineson has been cast as Galactus for Marvel's MCU's Galactus for the Fantastic Four movie. Incredible actor in everything that I've seen him in, and in stuff I haven't seen him in, I've just heard nothing but raving reviews. How do you feel about this?
I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, everything I've seen him in, he's been absolutely fantastic, and so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Galactus. So are they going to like shrink him down? Is he just going to be a giant in the sky? Is it just going to be his head? Are we going to see his whole body?
Well, you got to think. So, like, we've already had Arishem the Judge in Eternals, who was absolutely massive. So we know they can do scale, right? Second, he's going to be introduced in another universe. Whether he comes across into this universe or we have our own Galactus, that is going to be answered. Whether they meet at the borders of the universe and then have the Fantastic Four coming over, that would be insane. I don't know. But them coming over is definitely going to be an exasperation for incursions as to why we get Secret Wars.
Yeah, 100%.
So that means, right, let me quickly pull this up.
So Secret Wars comes out after Avengers 5, doesn't it? So
after Kang Dynasty, yes.
Yeah, so we've got Avengers 5 in May 2026, and then of Secret Wars May in 2027, and nothing in between.
So the news so far. Let me quickly enlarge this.
Destroy my shelves.
Huh? That's funny. So it's really funny. Everybody got confused with the casting and had John Malkovich as Galactus, but Ralph Ineson is Galactus, or Ineson. We have Vanessa Kirby playing Sue Storm, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Eben Moss Bacharach as Ben Grimm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Julia Gardner as the Silver Surfer of these guys' original universe, right? But our Silver Surfer, if we have one, right? Because from my understanding, we don't have a Fantastic Four. We're getting a Fantastic Four, but we don't have a Fantastic Four. Or if we do, they're being made elsewhere in reality at this moment in time or are coming later. we'll have to wait and see. But the Fantastic Four we're getting in this movie originate from another universe. That needs to be made clear. So the Silver Surfer we're getting is Julia Gardner, and then there's been talk of having the Norrin Rad Silver Surfer still a possibility, especially when Secret Wars happens, because that's like a Flashpoint movie where there's just like a big reset, basically. Like there's a MacGuffin kind of power. Somebody obtains it, fixes what's done. In the same vein as the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay? Think about that. Like a magical fix-all. Okay? But yeah, so and then Paul Waterhauser, John Malkovich and Paul Waterhauser in unnamed roles. Paul Waterhauser maybe as Herbie. Like I don't think I've seen a casting for that yet for Herbie, the little robot. Wonder who they could be. Very interesting. But that is it for the news at the moment.
Ooh.
Right now, we are going to be discussing is going to be, if not isn't already, is the iconic show of X-Men 97. And in a week 9, right? So week 8 was the start of a 3-part episode arc, like maybe sort of one big series, but there was a extinction. Tolerance is Extinction part 1, 2, and 3, right? And with most things, part 2 is like there's like an exciting moment or two, but it's usually the taking a breath after battle, gathering your past, gathering the people that are past, and it's the bridge between 1 and 3, right? That being said, I was excited about this week's episode, up and coming, but a part of me was like, well, I'm not expecting much, because it's a part 2. I have a very dim view of part 2s apparently, and then oh my god, they just did what they do every week, and smashed the goddamn hell out of it. Oh, wow. We're gonna get into it. Maisie set my stuff. Hello. Okay, you have the book. I'll take the page. How about that? Thank you. I'm just taking this bit. Just this bit. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, good girl. Okay. Sorry about that. Again, let me quickly fix my camera. Don't worry, I have these issues. Hello, everybody. I am back from Blurry Town. So, overall impressions of the episode. How did you feel about it now that we're getting into it an hour later after starting?
Honestly, just no words, man. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, just blew my fucking mind, basically. Straight from the comic books. Honestly, it's like straight from the pages of the comic book onto screen.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
So off the bat, we had them keeping the intro fresh and putting Professor X back in it after his sudden reemergence the week or so before with the Shi'ar Empire and everything, which is always fun. Nightcrawler being in the intro, absolutely love that man. Sat there wishing for his return, and he comes back, and there was a post earlier on Twitter was like when he comes back and he's instantly the heart of the show, giving people eulogies, like bringing Rogue back from her grief, like just doing so much in his short time there. Just shows that Kurt Wagner is an incredible character beyond his powers. Like, his powers are gorgeous. He is a brilliantly designed character. But just who he is beautiful as well.
Yeah.
And he should be seen as such. So we had the start of the episode. It was really interesting to see because we had initially it was the three leaders of ideals, right? You had Charles waking up in bed alone, Eric in his suit making Charles without the exosuit as well, which should have been fine, by the way, even with the EMP, I believe. And then you had Eric with his suit making Genosha New Genosha or Asteroid M Part 2. I don't know what they're calling it. And then you also had Bastion.
Asteroid M.
Yeah, maybe. And then because it was he said we should make a new Genosha, right? And then Charles called it an asteroid above his home. So it's like it could be either at this point.
I'm pretty sure it's Asteroid M.
Maybe, but that they already dealt with that, haven't they? From my understanding in the original show.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll
yes. So basically, everybody that's pushing forward an ideal or a way for extinction or coexistence or something, they are each shown to be alone at the start, which I find fascinating. And then, like, Eric starts off truly alone, you know. Bastion is there with his mother, carrying her through his town, and she's half of the reason that he's doing this. The other half is the brainwashing and the stuff from the future and everything else. And Charles is starting in a broken down representation of his home, his family,
his vision.
and his vision and the relationships inside of it, you know. Because he might be on speaking terms with some of these people, but not one of them is not hurt for what's happened and how things have gone about, you know. Then we got the introduction of the team through various characters like Jubilee and Sunspot and everything else. And we see, pardon me, where everybody is at the end of last week, and we see Storm saving Jubilee and Roberto, which was really, really cool because, as I was saying before, Storm is a goddess, basically. She's a human goddess, you know? Like, she's powerful and sexy, and like she just pulls just pulls it off so well. And so like she's just really cool character. Everybody's like, because she had a fucking mohawk and shit. She can have what the fuck she wants, you know? Leave her alone. Anyway.
She could be bald.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Exactly. So then we have Jean telling Cyclops and Charles to sort their shit out and to get through their bickering and find a way to work together. Scott upset because of Charles deciding to leave the mansion to Eric. Charles just trying to reach out to Scott, who wants to hear none of it because he feels betrayed. But Charles's argument
turning his back on things as normal.
Yeah, and basically, like, Charles's argument is that I know and appreciate how loyal you are and have always been, and I didn't like. Basically saying, like, you're loyal to a fault. So I took choice away from you I still like, yeah, he is in the wrong. I was thinking, I haven't really thought this like much into it, but I would say Charles is in the wrong for that. You know,
Yeah.
like I understand wanting to do that, and I understand kind of like leaving your school to Magneto, I guess, especially because you've known him the longest and you get him, you've been inside everybody's head, you know everybody. So I get it, but I also get Scott's resentment and bitter disappointment because it should have been his to turn down, his to give to Magneto, to say, we don't see eye to eye, but I need you to like work on the professor's vision here, kind of thing. So I don't know. They have valid points, but the interesting thing is like how the show is shot and framed, right? Because there's just visual representation everywhere. Not just, oh, it's a great show, it's animated well, the fighting looks spectacular, but like every little thing, they're just showing you stuff, and it's just, oh my god. And it's just, sometimes it takes like a rewatch because you're so excited by it that you're just watching it eyes wide open, and then like you still miss some bits, like even just the idea of the separation between Charles and Scott was shown through the destruction of the house, right? They could have just shown them on screen, right? But like they show them on screen, and then like there's bits of the house that they're showing back off, and they're separated on screen as well. They're 2 feet away, but it's showing them separated. And it's just small things like that, the attention to detail and the love that you can feel that the people have put into what they're trying to convey. Absolutely phenomenal and outstanding, and it just cannot get high enough praise, in my honest opinion. So after they have their little verbal tete-a-tete, we have Rogue waking up and Kurt consoling her and making her feel better.
I'll go do something quickly.
Okay.
You crack on without me. Just carry on.
So Rogue wakes up, and the first thing that she shouts out after being clocked in the jaw by Sentinel Trask, she wakes up and calls out for Remy, who isn't there and is still gone. Kurt teleports to her side and consoles her and makes her feel better, and informs her almost instantly that Magneto did in fact survive. And previously, Charles extended a hand to Cyclops, in which he refused, which is a massive, massive step, and shows how hurt he really, really is. And then we get Storm coming home with Jubilee and Roberto and Forge. And even in an animation, you could feel the joy from Jean as she psychically flew over and scooped up Storm and spun her around and called her sister and hugged her, and you could feel it was lovely and wonderful. And they have a great relationship and a really, really good chemistry. And they draw on each other for strength, which is really, really nice, and use each other for inspiration. And they tell each other so. And in this episode, you have Storm telling Jean that while she was without power, she was the source of inspiration. So then we get a briefing with the team on the situation that Magneto has effectively shut the world down with a giant EMP, and that shut down the Sentinels. But the second that either goes on too long or something, there's going to be like a problem. But
essentially, you stop the magnetic pull.
Yeah, right. And then, but if he lets it off, then the world's going to be overrun and ruled by Sentinels in a matter of moments. So, like, either way, in 12 hours, that's it. Like they said, when the sun sets on the world, it sets on the future. And then so the team has a briefing, and it's great to see Roberto Sunspot stood there in his brand spanking new X-Men uniform, in the new colors, which are black and yellow. Going for Wiz Khalifa with it.
Black leather.
Yeah, there was a black leather joke again. For a Cyclops to Cable, which was great. It's just really interesting though, because like you said, like at this point, Magneto's endgame is Genosha 2.0, right? But before, what was it? Because he was just a mutant terrorist that was sitting there trying to hurt anybody at the wrong mutants. It was just like calling for a ceasefire or something. I don't know.
To end humanity has always been his goal. You don't trust them. No matter how many times they've been given the benefit of the doubt, they always prove his case. And I think bombing Genosha was just that step too far for him.
Yeah. That's the thing though, because like Magneto is not an out and outright villain, you know.
No, so just the circumstances he's been through that's made him that way.
Yeah, he gets pushed to the extremes that he goes to, in my opinion. You know, he's like a Newtonian reaction. You know, so if a mutant gets mugged, he's just gonna come around your house and nick your wallet.
He wouldn't have to come around your house to nick it, would he?
Yeah, just floats all your change off your side.
Like that. Yeah, he just like walk past and like, right, I'll take all of that with me.
That'd be funny. So then we had a scene in between what I'm about to talk about. What was it?
Rogue and Professor Xavier talking out.
Yes.
On the water near the lake.
Yeah, and there wasn't one before that, was it? It was the briefing.
Yeah, it was the briefing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there was a moment in the briefing where Roberto said something about it being Charles's fault, and then Scott's like, "We don't have time for blaming each other." Yet again, after he's bitched and moaned, and that is.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm so glad you said it. Oh my god, you get your little digs in. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Honestly, as powerful as Cyclops is, man, he is a whiny little bitch. This whole season, he's proved himself to be just a hypocrite, really. I will have no part in this. Do you know what it's like to be abandoned? And then he proceeds to walk off and abandons his son.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Where's the milk?
It's a real long time for those fags. Oh, my stomach's cooking off. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's hypocrisy from Scott really in this episode yet again.
So Rogue brought up a fantastic point, right? In the even when Charles was off in space in a whole distant galaxy, he was still referring to them as his students, right? And instead of saying my family, my students. So when Rogue called him out at the lake when he was talking about Remy and wondering if he should have buried him here or at the bayou, and she was like, well, if you knew Remy and saw him as a person instead of a student, you'd know where to bury him, you know? And it's like, dude, you are so right. You are so right. He genuinely does view you with that shade of lens, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, that never goes, you know? And it does make it kind of culty because they don't just see him as a teacher. You know, like Cyclops is sitting there saying like, "Oh, I've never thought how to ask him how he does fathering so well." You know, and so they're all sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is one big happy family." And he's sitting there thinking, "My God, this is almost Ivy League. I've just got so many students here. I am doing so well with myself." You know,
and if it goes wrong, I'll just erase their mind.
Yeah. That is
Guys,
moving on from that. Moving on from that one. Moving on from that one. Who said that? Who said that? Oh no, it was you. Okay, moving on.
Keep on rolling, dude.
Yes. Okay. So the bit in between Rogue's talk, which I was going to get to, was them discussing the neuralizer tech. Forge and Beast were having a chat and discussing a way to stop Bastion in his tracks in a similar way that the AMP would, or to cure him of the mutations that are afflicting him.
That they use to remove the Phoenix Force from Jean.
Yes. So,
but amplified for technology.
Yeah.
And then Beast mentions the manipulator and Storm. Oh.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, so we can use this neutralizer tech to permanently neutralize." And then Storm's eye, like she's not. It's one of those things where like the nerds are talking, Beast and Forge are having a conversation about like fixing stuff, and it's just all technical jargon that she doesn't really care about. Not even it's going over her head. She just doesn't care enough to like know. And she just minding her own business, and then she hears like neuralizer tech, and you could just see her being it like in her own world for a second, and she just goes, "Hang on a minute," and then she's listening to the conversation, and her eyes just go from normal to just like lightning sparking white, and then Beast and Forge shit themselves, and they're like, "Okay, neuralizer tech."
Made the thunder strike then. She made the thunder go off though, didn't she? In the roof.
Yeah. She's like, she didn't even need to say it. They just know how much that hurt her, and like how much of her identity was taken, because being Storm is who she is. She's Aurora Monroe, but she is also Storm. She is a duality of a person, which is amazing, you know. So we had Eric and Charles verbally standing off.
Magneto appears over the lake on Asteroid M.
In an amazing scene.
Yeah.
Where for half of it, you had Eric having Charles sat there with his head hanging in shame. Just pure shame, you know? And he's just like, he's right, man. There are just been skeletons upon skeletons upon skeletons just paving the way for for you to walk over them, like striving on this path for peace. And when is enough for you? That question gets asked so much, and he will never have a time what to say. And he always says, it ends now or whatever, but it's still going because there's still putrid prejudice and myopic hatred for people based on nothing.
Cerebro can connect to everybody on Earth, can't it? Whether they're mutant or not.
It can connect him to them, yeah.
Yeah, so he can connect to everybody on Earth with their mutant or not using Cerebro.
Yeah.
So why don't you just fucking wipe everybody's mind of the hate and shit like that, and just be done with it that way?
Because that's against his morals.
Fucking morals.
Free will. Like God doesn't even do that.
Look where his morals have led everybody.
Yeah, but God had the power to take away free will if he existed, and he didn't.
Yeah, but that's like Charles says, they're not gods.
No, but so then even if God wouldn't do it, does that mean he should take a step that God wouldn't?
God's vengeful. Well, he used to be, according
to he got old and then just like, I'll leave it.
So it all depends. So, but that bit though, that line where Charles says, "We're not gods, Eric. You can't do this," and then Eric turns around and says, "Gods abandon those who believe in them. Mutants do not." It's like, oh,
yeah.
wow.
And I've been like, I think the little green guy's name was Bleach or something. Turns out, no, he won't be coming back. He didn't get into like some underground bunker, which I was hoping for. He got vaporized, and he was so sweet. And it's lovely and sad and just so tragic that he is the champion. Eric wants to be his champion because he was robbed of his life so young. That like, oh my god,
just crazy.
They just keep making Magneto like really, really good. We got a really good one with Ian McKellen, and then Michael Fassbender was insanely good as well. And this Magneto, man, like he was always good, man. But I feel like he's just really kicked it up a notch. He's so cool. He's so cool. The script in this show, I'm trying not to like break down absolutely everything and just tell you the whole episode. I'm just trying to talk about how each bit worked and why I liked it. Because I want, for people that haven't seen it, I want you to go and watch it. So that's
you really need to go watch it. My God.
Yes. Both Eric and Charles have extremely powerful words for the positions that they are talking from. But as what's her name? Val Cooper said last week, Magneto was right. Okay, there's just a point where Magneto is right. Dude, you take care of that for me. So yeah, Charles is in the wrong, Magneto is right. And then there's like a last so this is another thing, like Darren and I were talking and stuff on his stream, and we pointed out that Charles asked Eric to walk in his path, right? And then Eric pointed that out this week, and he's like, I've walked in your path, Charles. Are you going to now walk in mine? You know, because he easily could, but again, chooses not to. And yeah, there was just so many good shots on the whole episode. But the deciding blow for me, right? So when when he's basically the point of the scene is choose which side you're on. Are you X-Man or are you also X-Man, but are you tired of losing people? Are you here fighting in a different way? You know, and then like you just said, like he hovers past Charles, who's there hanging his head in shame, and he's like, decide my X-Men. And it's just like, twisting the knife in. You know you've already upset the guy. And then, yeah, you just slam him down because he's already dropped that twice since he's been here. Hasn't said it in months or however long he's been away. And then, boom, now you're just throwing that out right in front of the guy. It was just so savage. It was so dark. It was so tough.
And
powerful shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it shows that Magneto actually sees them more as a family rather than students.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Magneto is basically like stand for the mutant brotherhood, forget about the humans, we'll fight for our own kind like they're doing for them. Which is kind of shitty, but he's been forced into that position yet again.
Then we had blue team and gold team set up. We had a wonderful superhero slow motion walk, showing off the new threads. Cable got a blue and yellow suit. Sunspot's there in a gold and yellow suit. He's on Magneto's team. He got that before. Most people got a new suit. Jubilee didn't need one. Wolverine got a new suit. Beast didn't need one. He was rocking his blue undies as per usual. But yeah, it was really cool to see.
Gene
then before we had
suit as well.
Yes. Actually, that's a really good point. Actually, I wanted to check something and got so wrapped up in everything else. So everybody got a suit, but then you had Marvel Girl, Jean Grey as Marvel Girl. I want to say that's the suit she was wearing.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Hang on a quick look. Yeah, that's a Marvel Girl suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Scott got a new suit. Everybody got like a nice little visual upgrade and things like that. And then we had Jean and Scott hugging before departing. The thing, one of the nitpicks I had on the episode is I'm pretty sure that Kurt can only teleport where he can see.
That was a previous episode, wasn't it?
Jumper can teleport. Well, no, because he was teleporting people to Muir Island and things like that, right? But Blink is the one that can teleport people with portals as far away as the moon, right? Yeah. Jumper is the guy that can teleport anywhere from memory. Nightcrawler, the only thing that changes with his is where he goes when he's teleporting. Is it just a buff and I'm there? Is it a buff? Now I'm walking through like some other dimension and then buff and I'm back on this reality. You know, there's like different ideas of what happens when he's buffing, if that's a word. But bamfing, right? But he can teleport where he can see. That's what I know. But again, I've been wrong before, so don't like 100% quote me on that. But like, I'm ready to put some money on it.
Depends on what universe you're in, anyway, as to what his powers can do.
I guess that's a really good point. Yeah. So there was a really good bit with Jean and Storm on the Blackbird, where Jean was telling Storm about how much she missed her and used her as inspiration, and then they were like,
wasn't it Storm telling Jean that?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. And then you had Jean telling Storm to make them mind your weather. And then Storm says, make them weather your mind.
And then weather your mind.
Yeah, just awesome. And then you just had Storm just dropping lightning bolts and having twisters and tornadoes all over the place. And Jean out there just crashing all the Sentinels and things. It was really, 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 really cool.
And then we go to Morph Smash.
And then I don't know which team that was, blue or gold, but then you have the other team.
He was on Jean's team, so
yeah. I don't know which one was blue or gold.
I think that was gold.
So we go to the other team, and we have Cyclops, Cable, Jean, and Morph. And I think
Cyclops is down with Jean, and Cyclops is
Jean's up in the plane, isn't she? And then
and Cyclops is up on Asteroid.
Yeah. No.
You jumped ahead of yourself a little bit, dude.
Yeah.
So we get into the fight basically. So after that amazing speech or moment between Storm and Jean, it cuts to Morph turning into the Hulk and then going nuts and smashing some Sentinels. And Beast decides to join in as well. And they just cause absolute havoc and just smash the shit out of everything. Beast picks up a Sentinel's arm and slaps the Sentinel across the face with it.
Yeah, you're right. So, like, there's Morph, Cable, Cyclops. No, not Cyclops. Fucking what? Fuck's sake.
Forge,
Storm, Jean, Cable, Morph, and then on the other team, you've got Jubilee, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops, and
Charles.
Charles. Yeah, so there's like 5 each, I think.
Yeah.
And then so you have the wonderful moment with Jean and stuff, and then you have, like you said, Hulk. You have Hulk Morph.
Smash.
And they're all fighting Sentinels and things like that. And Mr. Sinister turns up. And somebody pointed out on Twitter that when he fights, he actually uses Jean's and Scott's moves when fighting them.
Yeah, what, like
mirroring their movements and how they fight.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, like so when he's there dodging all of her psychic barrage.
Yeah,
and the way he's dodging, like he's skating, that's her stuff that he's using.
That's crazy. Fair play.
Yeah,
that was well spotted.
Absolutely love Sinister and Jean.
I love the fact, like, when they're fighting and Sinister's trying to play mind games with her, saying, like, I can tell you when I made the switch and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Jean, after everything that she's been through and the discussions she's had, she's like, Madeline's fighting with me, and chooses not to be weakened by such cheap tricks.
Yep.
And causes him such a problem that he activates sleeper mode. He activates his sleeper cell in Cable, and then he comes and I don't know if
You've jumped again.
No, I know. I'm doing.
When it comes to
I'm doing the Asteroid M stuff separate. I'll do that after.
No worries. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with you. That's all. So.
Sorry, if we just do them in blocks, it'll be easier.
I know, but I actually took my own notes this week, dude. Believe it or not.
Wow. Okay. Well, then you crack on. Then
No. You crack on. It's your show.
Yeah. I don't mind. Crack on, dude.
No.
Okay.
Just here to help.
Okay. Oh, my stomach. That's a real pain.
Join us next week for episode 9, part 2 breakdown, and episode 10.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I think I should be able to get through this. Oh my god, that is like I'm having a baby. Okay. So Cable comes along, and I always assumed like he had powers a little bit like Bishop, or maybe his gun was due to the techno-organic virus or something. I don't know, or just a futuristic gun. And I've always been curious about his power, and it turns out that he has his mother's telepathic and telekinetic abilities,
psychic
and
power,
is very, very powerful.
And he just
to the point where it looks like he wipes out his mother with just some kind of psychic blast from his mechanical eye.
Not his mum.
Yeah, well, the clone of his mum. Well,
no.
The original person his mum was cloned from.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's so convoluted and amazing. Pardon me. So yeah, all really, really cool stuff. The reason I put Scott on the island is because Jean, at that point where she's about to pass, where at least looks like it, definitely think she's gone. She psychically puts Scott's mind like on the island so he can see what's going on, like puts a vision of what's happening inside his head, and he can see that Nathan is taking out Jean, but not in control. It's not his choice to do it. Sinister had him as a baby and infected him with the techno-organic virus, and then there would have been a whole bunch of machinations in between from him and Bastion, who is past, present, and future. So yeah. Interestingly, like kind of, so is Cable. Kind of, I kind of realized this last week. Cable, in a sense, is like the past, present, and future all in one as well. That he's having to deal with.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. Like I think like him and Bastian are like two sides of the same coin in a similar way that Eric and Charles are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. So whilst that's going on, Morph tries to trick Bastian by running into his room disguised as Mr. Sinister. But is easily fooled because Bastian he says Mr. Sinister is too selfish of a person to care for anyone else.
Yeah. He wouldn't be coming to warn about anyone.
Yeah.
He's like, know your role. And that is very, very true. You need to know the person you're portraying when you're acting to get all of the nuance down. So then we have you go on.
Well, I was gonna say, are we on to Asteroid M now or
yes. So there we have while that's going on, we have people on Asteroid M or New Genosha or whatever their rebranding is. Initially, we have the Blackbird landing. Rogue and Sunspot rip the roof off, asking if they should knock. And then she's like, damn it, Elf. Because Nightcrawler's teleported people away once again to where he can't see, but we'll have to let that go. And then they get into a confrontation, at which point Rogue puts Wolverine on a timeout because he is playing to kill.
I think Nightcrawler can go where he can't see. It's just he risks getting stuck in walls. Do you know what I mean? Like he runs the risk. It's not like he can.
He runs the risk of getting stuck in between.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Kyron.
I remember him saying something about it in one of the films.
So, Rogue takes down Wolverine as he charges at Magneto as he's playing to kill.
Okay, he can teleport up to 2 miles, apparently.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. That's interesting.
I remember he explains that he doesn't want to get
Yeah, he did. So they have a little fight. Roberto attacks Jubilee, at which point he tries to apologize and then not fight, but she's like, I gave you the chance to be my girl. Screw you. She doesn't say all this, but you can just feel it because she offered him to stay, and he's like, why would I have reason to stay? My family shunned me, got me arrested. She's like, well, me. And then he's like, no, and then leaves anyway. So she's then spurned, and then he starts trying to fight her. So she's like, okay, well, then let's go. And then she just starts laying into him, and he has to defend himself. And then everybody's trying to get at Magneto while him and Charles are talking. And it's just really, really intense, and it's really awesome. And there was some foreshadowing a few times for what happened. Because everybody's trying to get Magneto's helmet off, right?
Yeah.
And there was a few points in the episode where Wolverine was like foreshadowing that he was like today's only going to end one way, and then pulls his claws out, and then he's like, oh great, we're skipping all of the talking, and then just like pulls his claws out, and at the almost at the end of the fight, he when he gets Magneto's helmet off, he then stabs him in the back, and I think that was a killing blow myself, because he went all the way through and stabbed what looked like vital organs.
And the amount of blood that came out.
Yeah. And let's be real, the guy's like 70 years old, if not older.
And before all of that happened, there was
90. When was World War II?
There was a magnificent moment between Charles and Magneto where Magneto loses his shit. He says, I've been wanting to say this for a long time, Charles. Shut up. and then
Yeah. Yeah, that was sick. That was awesome. Yeah, you could definitely tell he's been dying to say that.
Yeah,
you felt it. Like, because then, like, once he done that, it was like, okay, well, now I'm not
waited
playing
30 years
around
for
anymore.
that moment. The voice actor.
Yeah, because one of the great things about Magneto, right, is he said that the offer was made and the door is open, right, and like the great thing is the man makes an entrance, right, nice and slow. Asteroid M comes into view, right, and then makes his grand speech and then leaves, and it's like, and he's gone. You know, like he makes a real nice slow entrance, but like he knows how to make an exit, and it's got to be quick. You know what I mean? That is great. So then also, like when he's fighting, he still has that same mentality because he's not fighting like Wolverine is. He's not fighting to kill. He's just still trying to get them on his side.
Yeah.
And then the good guys make the fatal decision.
Oh yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Which is the second time, and this is people that are supposedly on Charles's side, which is the side of peace, reasoning, coexistence, you know, all of that. And like, granted, Rogue now is on Magneto's side, but when she made that decision, she was an X-Man, you know.
Oh yeah.
And Wolverine is an X-Man. He's some would, as Deadpool, people say in Deadpool 3, he is the X-Man, right? So the fact that they're the ones making these decisions and it's the students of Charles that are walking in Magneto's shoes and not Charles himself.
Yeah.
It's his students that are doing that. Like his proteges, the people that are following his doctrine are following his doctrine to such a T that, in my opinion, they're stepping into Magneto's, because the second they take a life or start fighting to take a life, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? They move sides. At least
Wolverine's a known soldier. He's taken lots of lives, so.
No, I know, but like that's Magneto's whole thing. You know? That shouldn't be what Charles is.
No, but what's the life of one for the life of billions?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No, I hear that, but like, there would have been a way around it. They didn't have to kill the guy. You know, well, you outnumbered him.
The only way I could see anything changing now is that they do some like X-Men Days of Future Past shit.
Yes, absolutely.
Or if Bishop turns up and just before all of that kicks off.
Yeah, because Cable's already here and he's already tried, and we're the MCU fixed point talk.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the episode, after Magneto got by Wolverine, he decided to get revenge by having this. There's an amazing shot where you just saw like Wolverine going backwards and his costume shredded and like the adamantium in his bones coming out as liquid. So the man's had the adamantium ripped from his body. Now, in my opinion, he's still a threat, but he's substantially less of one.
Yeah.
Right?
That must have hurt like hell, man. Just think, you know, because that adamantium was solid. So Magneto's had to like break that down on a molecular level to liquefy it.
Yeah.
To start off with, and then pull it out. Oh, that shit's gonna hurt. It's like the reverse of what he had done to him in the first place.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. Honestly. Do you think? Okay, so this is a good point. I know he heals quick in that, but do you think he's going to be active in the finale?
He's got to be.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I you know, I hope he is. After all, because if Magneto's not dead, man, then you know,
he has to be right. I mean, again, he was like 6 to 10 years old in World War II, right? So he's nearly 90, and he's just been, or at least 90, and he's just been. Oh no, wait, it's 97, isn't it? So he's still okay. So he's still like the 50s, 60s. Okay, so he's still like a 50, 60-year-old man that's just been stabbed for a bunch of organs.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I was just thinking back to a few episodes of him and Rogue going at it. If that didn't kill him, mate, as a 90-year-old man, then I don't know what would.
That's funny. That's funny. So, any predictions or hopes or dreams or anything going into the finale for you?
Mate, I have no. I just hope they don't flop on the landing.
Impossible, dude. Impossible.
You say that, mate. How many times have we had
the quality of this show, though?
Yeah. I hope they've got to stick this landing. They really do.
Absolutely impossible.
They've smashed it. They've absolutely smashed it. So
yeah,
you know,
I've loved everything that they've done. And the stuff that I've wanted, they've done as well.
Yeah,
like, my whole number one thing for this show was please bring in Nightcrawler. He's in it, and not only is he in it, it wasn't like a quick cameo. He's, again, as the guy said earlier, he's like the heart of the show. You know, like it's just.
It's one of the best things Marvel's put out there for years. I've got to say that.
That is a fair statement. That is a very fair statement.
And I don't know if it's because of the nostalgia side of things from growing up watching this when I was younger or not, but
yeah,
I don't think it is. I really don't.
Dude, can you imagine the feeling we're gonna have if and when they bring back Spider-Man?
I know.
I'm gonna lose my shit, man. I'm gonna lose my goddamn shit.
Buy a new TV.
Yeah, something's going to improve this one.
Literally pick it up and throw it across the room out of excitement if that comes.
Nearly had to replace Tyler's computer, freaking nearly flipping the table over.
Yeah, the tool then, won't it?
Yeah. Okay. What am I hoping for next week? I'm expecting Eric to be dead. Am I fully hoping for it? Not really. I don't know. I'd like to see somebody else take charge because, like, where Rogue is now, I think if she was like decided to band mutants together and like have their own thing where they're fighting for the rights of mutants in their own way, that would be really interesting. So maybe they could go that route, especially how she felt about Magneto romantically or not romantically.
I just hope they don't go with Charles's wife and that to come to rescue the day for him. Or...
No, dude, they're going to be villains. You know that. Like next season, they are going to be a threat. They have a whole thing now because she didn't get married to him. Like, yes, she's still in charge, but like they've got like a war coming. They got a war coming. So.
I know, so she's going to need his help, so therefore she's going to need to bail his ass out in order for his help in the war to come.
But what help is she going to give that is going to allow everybody to come back to life?
I don't know, summon the Phoenix Force from somewhere in space.
Yeah, and then she flies around the Earth super fast like Superman, and then spins the rotation backwards, and then time goes back.
Yeah, but we've already got. Yeah, but we don't need her to do shit like that. Like I said, we've got the possibility of Bishop, or or even Cable, another version of Cable coming back. Like
maybe that'd be a good reason why they give another new suit, so you can distinguish the two of them on the screen.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. That's a really good shout. Do you think
the only character that's missing at the moment still, is Bishop. So I'm expecting
pointed out by Rogue.
Yeah, I'm expecting Bishop to return to save the day somehow.
The fact that she's like Morph wasn't on the team for 30 minutes before we kicked him off. I was like, oh, damn, that was so tough.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's gone. That's gone.
My bad.
It's all right. Yeah, I have no clue where I was. Okay. So that was X-Men 97. Next week's going to be really good. Yeah, I have no clue where I was. It's all gone. It's all gone. So I'm just going to leave it there. It's already late enough.
Depends. Might not be here next week, but you know.
Why?
It's my birthday.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll work something out. Because we're not talking about this show. We're going to have to talk about this show at the finale. So
we might have to do a pre-record and put it out on Friday.
Good idea. So there's a few things I just wanted to finish with. Before we wrap up.
Or better yet, we could just go live on Wednesday whilst we're watching it in the morning.
That's another idea.
Do a live reaction to it. Sorry.
So the first thing I wanted to share is both fun and comes with a message. And that is that, yes, I am a person that I am a carnivore and enjoy eating meat. But as I've said it before, and I will say again, many, many times, there is such a thing as responsible farming practices. And while this is cute, it shouldn't be a thing. So there are some saved cows enjoying grass for the first time. And it's absolutely adorable.
Are you sure that's what that is?
Yeah.
Because there's a thing in Sweden or somewhere like that where they gather every year for like...
Oh, first time in 6 months. Okay, but still...
for the first... Yeah, because they get locked up over the winter and shit like that because obviously the conditions is too bad. So they locked up over the 6 months, and then when the spring comes around, literally thousands and thousands of people gather there every year to watch the annual letting out of these cows.
That's awesome. And that is great context for this video. Thank you. Separately, my point still stands. Okay?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, like
100%.
These cows are treated with so much love and respect. They're kept in because of how cold it gets over there. So when the springtime arrives, they let them out. And like I said, it happens every year, and they get thousands and thousands of people there to witness it. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
This guy.
Have you seen that zoo in China? It's a small zoo, and basically they couldn't get any panda bears, so they've literally got little tiny dogs, just literally dyed them and cut their hair and dyed them to make it look like panda bears and put them in the enclosure.
Fuck's sake, no, I didn't. That is just amazing. Look at that gymnastic spread.
I'm just wondering how they dislocated their hips to get in through that gap.
Yeah, right. And last thing, before we wrap up, is this wonderful proud little feline who just looks so sassy. So cool.
I need to get Lilith one of those. Take my money now.
Especially with the tail through the cape.
Take my money now.
Yeah. The tail through the cape just makes it so much better.
Send me that video. Genuinely, I'm getting that for my cat, man.
You don't have Twitter?
I'll find a video elsewhere then.
It has a tail hole, yes.
I'm getting that for my cat.
Absolute sass. I love it. It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
That is amazing. I could watch this for hours, dude.
I thought yeah. I thought since we didn't have Darren here with his dad joke to finish us off, we'd finish with something lovely. So yeah.
No, you don't want my dad
thank
joke.
You to. Probably not. No.
No, you really don't.
Thank you to my one and only.
Thank you.
My one and only.
You're welcome.
I love you being here. I appreciate your support as always. And
stop it! You're making me blush.
Thank you to Hedgehog Nerd for stopping by and chatting. It was great having you here as well.
Peacemaker season 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
And
honestly, the work. Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying, it was actually a DC show I enjoyed because it was just a standalone, and I knew that at the time.
And well, it wasn't going to be. And then so the work that they have to do now to make that intro as good as season 1's. I do not envy the person whose job that is. Good luck.
Good luck to the choreographer on that one.
Yeah. And thank you to Mr. Daniel Tinley for stopping by, and thank you, Liam, for being here as always.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, yeah, always. So we'll have to work out something for next week, but not an issue at all. So yeah, thank you everybody, and see you later.
Peace out.
Oh yeah, I forgot.